Hi, welcome to another video review from Diecast Wing Collectors, or DWC as we're shortened to. And this one is an aircraft that's just been reintroduced into the Corgi Aviation range, with an aircraft that's due out anytime soon, actually, from Biggin Hill, which crashed relatively near to me, about 5 to 6 miles away from here, in a place called Benfleet, which is literally just down the A13 from where I live. But this one is an aircraft released many years ago. And it's AA35011 of a Gloster Meteor F.8 based with number 74 Sqdn RAF Horsham St Faith in Norfolk in 1954. So let's get in there and have a little look. So for anybody who's got any of the later Mark Meteors, because remember obviously the early Mark was remoulded some years ago with 3 releases. One thing you'll notice is the size of the box. This one is the size of a Dornier box. It's an old style release, again from when Corgi was in its pre-infancy for Hornby days. So it comes with a large certificate, which is very similar to the P38 I've just reviewed as well. And that's got an associated Essex in there as well, and a little bit of history around the aircraft itself, of course being the first jet fighter. This one was picked up relatively cheap from eBay and was only 13 quid, believe it or not. So again, comes with all the relevant information inside there. The undercarriage is all in the box, as is the canopy as well by the looks of it, and of course the rather sturdy stand. So let's get her out and have a little look. So before we go any further, before I do show you, so you may have heard my heart be in my mouth when I opened the box and see the canopy in there. And I remembered the reason I bought this so cheap, it cost me 13 quid, and it's quite a rare one, was the pins were still stuck in the holes there, so they've put a new canopy in. So all I've done is use my hand drill, put the finest one on, put them into the holes, and literally just drilled out the remaining bits of plastic peg that were in there. It's not caused any issues, because obviously it's only inside the canopy, so you'll see a tiny little blemish inside, but once the pins are in a minute, you'll see how easily done it is. So a little bit of die cast on a budget tactics there. If you want to get cheap models, you want to repair them yourself, that's the way to do it. So let's get her on a stand and see what she looks like. And here she is with a new canopy on. Really nice looking aircraft actually. The silver underneath. Need to sand it down a little bit to just get that peg nice and tight, but for 13 quid or whatever it is, absolutely incredible value. It'll look fine once I've finished the finesse works on it, but like I said, 5 minutes sanding, whatever, will get her looking good. So this aircraft obviously was the first jet fighter to join the Royal Air Force after the successful jet engine was produced by Sir Frank Whittle, and served in a number of squadrons, of course, and didn't serve on the continent till sort of the end of hostilities, but was used back on the home front against the V1 bombs when they started hitting the UK in late 1944. You know, that was the new model, or the earlier Mark Meteors. This is a more later one, so this is a 1950s Meteor. But it's the undercarriage setup is really strange. I'll show you it shortly. It's not the way you expect it to go in, if that makes sense. But let's get her on her wheels and I'll show you what it looks like underneath. Here she is on her undercarriage. A tricky little bit of undercarriage to put in. So just to show you what the undercarriage down doors look like, they look like that, and the front door looks like that. I've had to use the blue tack on the front wheel there. It's just not staying in, and you will find this with many Corgi aircraft, which is a bit of a shame, because it's actually a really nice little model. So let me just show you what it looks like underneath. There is where it's all silver undercarriage. And I often talk about the one block undercarriage. If you look at the down undercarriage, that is all one block with the exception of that door there. So you've got 2 inner doors and you've got that one block undercarriage, which is really intricate. But when I mean it's a strange little undercarriage, it's not particularly high off the ground. For a jet fighter, you know, it'd have to land very flat. There's not a lot. I'd imagine they've got a lot of tail scrapes, and it's quite thin, brittle tail. So it must have been an interesting aircraft. I'm speaking to. I used to have an old boy who used to come in my shop when I was in Wickford, and he worked, funny enough, at Horsham St Faith on Meteors post-war. So he did national service with the RAF, and he said the number of aircraft they lost in training accidents was huge. I haven't got numbers, but you know, talking about that, it's, it sounds like it was quite a challenging aircraft to operate. So a little bit about the aircraft. Again, it's from Horsham St Faith in Norfolk in 1954. And it was powered by obviously two Rolls-Royce W2B and 23C turbojet engines, and that provided 771 kilograms of thrust each. Later versions, beginning with the F8, which is this, were the first British production aircraft to be equipped with ejector seats, and of course two now work for Martin Baker as ejection seat test aircraft, and often seen at RIAT and stuff like that. I don't think they display as such. And 73rd Squadron was re-equipped as the RAF's third Meteor F3 Squadron in June 45 and formed the first all-jet fighter wing along with 6 Sqdn and 504 Squadrons. The Mark III Meteors were retained until March 48 and then re-equipped with the F4s commencing in December 47. The F4 was operated by the Squadron until October 50, which was replaced by the F8, this one, and then operated the Mark 8 from Horsham St Faith, Norwich, Norfolk for 7 years until the type was replaced by the Hunter in 1957. So a relatively short life for the Meteor in all formats, just to 12 or 13 years. But an important aircraft in the history of the Royal Air Force, in particular, being the first jet fighter that was operated. But a great little model, this. It's pretty standard. It looks like many of the other Meteors, but for some reason I thought it would be something different. I honestly thought it was like green and brown or something like that. I know it sounds a bonkers thing to say. It shows my knowledge, but a nice one to add to my selection of Meteors at home on the shelf, including the Doodlebug Killers as well. And of course, a new one coming out looks rather pretty, and it's all silver finish from Biggin Hill. So look, I hope you enjoyed this video. One to show you around. Keep those eyes out for bargains on eBay, because they are to be had. Don't let them slip away, because a tiny little fix has probably saved me 30-40 quid. And this is a hard aircraft to find. It's not the easiest of Meteors to find, probably the toughest, in fact. So I'm very happy with that purchase, and again, saved myself a few well-earned pounds to go and spend on some more aircraft for me to review for you lot, and hopefully to enjoy the videos of. Again, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it very much. See you again soon.